Welcome to the journey of faith, hope, and transformation. Grab a seat at Galilee Roundtable as we bring to you inspiring discussions, personal testimonies, and messages of restoration, inspired by the Spirit of God. Galilee Roundtable, a table of faith, a feast of hope.
Welcome to Galilee Roundtable, a table of faith, a feast of hope. It's another wonderful Friday here with us. As the song is playing, Ghana Youth Arise. We know the time we are in now. It's election season. And today we'll be having two discussions. I have some special guests here. A recurring guest who's now most like, he's otherwise a co-pilot. He's here with me, my brother Eugene. And a very special person. One of our biggest uncles here, Abantama Presby. Uncle James Owusu Achiaw. We'll be discussing a sample breakdown, as we've always been doing. Today we'll be talking about infant baptism, the importance of it. And then we'll zoom into our elections, talking about the need for our elections. Is it important? How are we going to do about it? The first time voters, those who have voted before and all that. We're going to have a lovely discussion here. I think about 2 weeks ago we discussed one that we talked about, should a Christian even vote? We concluded that a Christian must vote because you are part of the country. It is your right and it's your responsibility to do that. So tonight, we were talking about election sensitization, why we should vote as citizens, first-time voters, and what have you. So you're welcome to Galilee Roundtable, a table of feast and of hope. We're all involved. Get involved with us now. Share the link to your friend. Tell your friend to tell the friend that we are live. Eugene, Akwaba.
Thank you.
Now, what to say? Election seasons now, you owe me. Okay. Uncle James, what you want to say? Sorry. Okay. Uncle James, but let's take it again. Sorry, for not the mic in but now we fixed it. All right, Uncle James, there are kwaba so cool about a Galilee Roundtable. Yes, and then you be discuss and we'll talk about Asempa breakdown kakra about teachings this month, which is about baptism. And then this week we will share how important child baptism is and the significance of child baptism. Brian said, Brian, I want to play the audio for our listeners and everybody to listen, and then from there we'll take it and then break it down.
Covenant, which is people, also includes the infant. Infant baptism is one significant doctrine of most of the mainline churches. It is significant because it carries some spiritual grace, just like that spiritual grace children carry. We remember in Mark 10 when some parents brought their children to Jesus Christ. God's covenant, which is people, also includes the infant. Also given the infant to the adult is the same grace that is given to the child. We should also notice that infant baptism is one significant doctrine of most of the mainline churches. It is significant because it carries some spiritual grace, just like that spiritual grace children carry. We remember in Mark 10 when some parents brought their children to Jesus Christ. We see how some parents brought their children to Jesus Christ. We see how these children were prevented from coming to Jesus. But Jesus will rise and defend the cause of these children. We should understand, therefore, that the grace that was given to the adult is the same grace that is given to the child. We should also notice that salvation should not be seen as coming for the adults alone, but it is a household thing. Remember, God saved Noah and his family. God saved Abraham and his family. We have instances in the New Testament where households were baptized. The household of Cornelius, the household of Lydia, the household of Stephanus, and the household of Crispus. All these records do show that it is significant that we save the child and save the adult as well. So God's covenant, which is people, also includes the infant. That is how come infant baptism is so important.
Okay. Uncle James, let me start with you. I think that during the teachings the past weeks, who say baptism is important in the first place, and also we've come to understand that there are some types of baptism which we've taught about that. And then I think last week we look at, say, if you have fallen short of the faith and you come back, you don't need to be baptized again. Now this week you're looking at the importance of child baptism. You won't say Presby Church, that believe in this say about in Christ. There has been this school of thought say in EP04, I mean we are also here, and then we have to baptize a person. I know we've listened to it. I want your view on it. How do you see child baptism? Is it important? What was the integrant in a child baptism?
I think that we can't dispute the role of the importance of baptism in the life of a Christian. Intimate dispute. Maybe this said the value of it in the life of a Christian. By young one say and that's the debate as to whether we should baptize children or not. Would say Kasana at the time manam phobia now phobia Jesus or some dom bakusia yesu. A bid on my green said there be a crowd man concha my by Yesu Christos original home mufrano.
Yeah.
And then say who say a subo whom we are sa our phobia who say my family banson coffee say Gideon Nami woman on Sukutabi.
Okay.
And obi so prevent say and crown here and young one. Then say young coupon someone on in tea Christopher no. You who saw Casama more Francis. So as to Lydia, young coupon asuma for Casachena or Gideon. Bible say she and her household were baptized.
Yes. Yeah.
Even I think this is in Acts, is it chapter 18 or so?
Okay.
As you go down, you realize that the innkeeper too, when he helped Nyankopɔn asomafo no so prison no. Ye no one or more cassa or no more me or crew no canyon some yamisem chomo sacrano. The Bible says, there and then he and his household were baptized.
Okay.
I do not know why we want to define household as every person in the house, but when it comes to baptism, then we want to seclude.
Yeah.
We say, Mrena Kakra, Mosma Kasama, who say, oh, sure, Hasia. Now, sorry, and who here see a boa to be. That number Friday, yes, you name, and to Beninia and Sayabonasu. And name them your home of Frasa or Mokanya Miasem.
Okay.
Yehumbi. Ewo social media banti yesu abroche nyina yehu de yesu amana Africa Ghana and mofra kanya miasem enam say won awofo ye Christopher no on di Christo na ma won won timika na de nti na ye bonesu a emfata megidi say abo France boy so
Eugene, who will be the welcome one?
Martin said, Papa James Akani na maybe I no meet recording, maybe Papa Eka and say they also accept some special the special grace. And damn as a machine that section no. Because as your Papa James Kai no, baby or sorry bo they don't do the child or infant baptism. They rather do dedication.
Yes, dedicated child to
na after so na when you fear no but I name the idea behind that.
Okay, so I think during the I want to say share baptism as I can say I wanted to talk about something about child baptism because time when I made recordings, unfortunately I was able to meet Papa Munina and then I asked that question that was off camera. Specifically say why is that child supposed to be baptized? And then like the example Papa Buensi used, that's what Papa Arno answered that question. Or can say a child is like it's part of the family, and there's a Ghana card no issue citizenship in the idea. When you become a citizen of Ghana, wo to Ghana more won't share that income when you don't have a birth certificate and all these things, showing or as a proof say you are one of us. But the moment you start getting these documents, then you become one of us. So baptism is more like it's satisfy your citizenship. Inti saying cry our family nimu ye bo papa su ye bo mama su a. What stops the little child from also receiving it? So I say inti unyina obe so ibi man na. I don't say no. Enunti na parents no ho aging man no. Inti umujine mu ma akra no supporting that child. And they are supposed to train the child in that way so that when he grows he doesn't depart from that faith. Inti child baptism is really, really important. That's the significance of it. That as families, as Christians, and all no, I will say ye day ye mano ye warm about Christo muna or ye bomb sua. After we have to teach them. So even the Bible in the Old Testament also can say write these commandments in your heart, teach these little ones, so that when they are growing, it still stays with them. So the same way you stand behind the child, you let the child, you present the child to Christ. So as the child is growing, you show that child what the faith is about, so that the child can grow in it, knowing that being baptized as a child, he is, part of us. Until once he has the citizenship done, that means he is with us forever. Until that is one of the important things. And I say, it will say, ye no, ebe boy, ama ye baptism akoi. It's for any more sharing now on TikTok and then on Facebook. So that is what the significance of baptism is about. Again, we'll play it one more time and then we'll zoom into our action for today, which is about the election sensitization with Uncle James. I hope so you understand it, and then we would go straight to the point.
God's covenant with his people also includes the infant. Infant baptism is one significant doctrine of most of the mainline churches. It is significant because it carries some spiritual grace, just like the spiritual grace children carry. We remember in Mark 10 when some parents brought their children to Jesus Christ. We see how these children were prevented from coming to Jesus. But Jesus will rise and defend the cause of these children. We should understand, therefore, that the grace that was given to the adult is the same grace that is given to the child. we should also notice that salvation should not be seen as coming for the adults alone, but it is a household thing. Remember, God saved Noah and his family. God saved Abraham and his family. We have instances in the New Testament where households were baptized. The household of Cornelius, the household of Lydia, the household of Stephanus, and the household of Crispus. All these records do show that it is significant that we save the child and save the adult as well. So God's covenant with his people also includes the infant. That is how come infant baptism is so important.
Okay. You're welcome back again to Galley Round Table. Okay. So, Uncle James, elections, China, and I got to Yaba as Ghanaians. Your first time voters, ne, Emebunua, Yeshishima, Yakoko to be. And the discussion will be about the sensitization of the elections, no, near how you beat me a to Abaniade. I want her to go straight to the point. Elections cry a day.
Mijidi say election there any democracy na enam. If we say a bra call democratic governance no. Now we say o mamba bia enso so anobam na yetimi hu akandifo. Ye nyina ntimi ntina se ba da kro nka se ye pekwan wa ha. Enke ntimi nye progress bia. No se mpanyimfo bitena ye nan no mudi maye enti brano no said Ghana society in fie na bia on see ekoyi o mampanyin foforo so do oye adwuma no eso ye ne ne asan ato ama no na watena se emprembiu no we fe una nyansa nyina wo trim kra yese ko home na obi foforo embra said ya akamfo bu no nyansa ni ba akofo etrim enti ehu se sabre ye papa Akufo-Addo ode na mambo no abawie ompo ontimi ndibiem enu nti o tie to abama nipa foforo na ono so ebetena so ehwe djumedie no na se ebeto abayi kandifo a ono na obetena se won say Ghana ye presidential powers na esopa
Yes.
enu nti se eba beto aba eyo mampanyi a oba behwe yen so a na ehu hia papa na ababa akubia so hu hia enye Ghana fo na ye kan na ye ye hwe abato no ntunsan so ye se nipa eto aba no ye chemu 50% plus 1 and it's a Ghana for nyina so mo nto na nipa 10 koto 50% of the votes plus 1 e che se ababa ko bia ho hia eno na che o man panyina ebenya eno nti se wo ye Ghana ni mapa wadi mfie du nwotwe a mra che se wo so timi di wano tum bi emye yi akandifo a ense se wotena se enyo man panyin ko a afei mpatamu a friend constituency na wote no ye san yi nipa ba kwa okọ gina wanamu na ye dwin Ghana waka wasamama ano so hu hia esan se parliament kasa ye se Ghana kasa fe se obia nsi anamu ewo ho ano ntia wo se mesumi yi de obesi manan ema me ho na okwa okasa me ho se we na se okono anka mapede a emfi na ne so a masan eyi na fi ho ano ntia ye tumi pa citizens of Ghana and as every citizen of a particular area where there is democracy, ukuta, say what's all the year juma, and it meant to turn us a cry. Papa.
That's interesting. Wow. In general, say Christopher, but this is interesting. So, what's the importance? Is it just selecting our leaders? Is there any other thing that we can learn from it? Is it say why you? I know some people vote on those lines. Say why then the free mu minya. Some people have that in mind. Say abano coming goto because minya from mu me page ma be papa any day. What can you say concerning those things?
No correct. What can you? Me jidi say about all the ye praise before the yetia say papa. Enya juma na opa mo be papa.
Okay.
Nemum osum na wode ko adeswa na wode ko so obi papa esan se o man so hwe enafo say nyina ami nyina e wo Ghana ha yɛmfa deɛ yɛtwa mu yɛ nya aso Akufo-Addo eduma bi ani edi na tema eduma bi nso ani abɔ na baswa ɔyɛ commission ni nkrofo ko ye prisoner enso mehwɛ meka ma adwen kɔ akyire bɛ sɛ mbosome nsia bi atwa mu a na nka no pa no ano asɛm nko ni nyina nso yɛ obi papa mpacho ti ase ɛyɛ ne atena se ahyehyɛ mmra hwɛ akatu a yɛmfa ma no ne de keka ho nanso de hia ne sɛ ni pakro no ɔkɔtena hɔ no na dwemu Paul de ba no ɛnna kyerɛ baabi ɔman ne nkoduru yɛnyina yɛtim bi anunti sɛ yɛ to aba ɛnyɛ aba baako na wokɔto na wogye sɛ ɛho nhia. It is important. That single vote counts to make the many votes that we get. And so it's very, very important. Say ne obiawo ni potamo onya puntu sembia na nko bete nkoso bi wona potamo o mampanyi ben na ogide se saade no ho hia na obedwen ho ama wo. Okay. Mpacho ati ase. Of course. Ye ka se free SHS utietie mu a obi nso de ogye se obetimatua enti nka ono de nkanya de opene free SHS nko paade foforo anu nti ono so hwehwe o mampanyi a saade foforo no ewo ne tirima ono nso de beba enu nti obi a eto aba na afa nipa dodo na pede no de egira ne mu no wawene no aba be ya amaye na nipa dodo na ni age e bi afa yenya no wi a de na nka foforo bi dwen no enu so nke behia na ama obi akodi obi ho enu nti enye nipa bi a woto ama no na party bi a mi gina mu dwen oman no ho. I remember I'm saying Akufo-Addo and Oba Foforo no was we must be citizens and not spectators. And let's not be spectators at all. Okay. After all, if by any reason somebody has given me money, your decision is yours. Okay. You must make sure that we contribute to the decision making in Ghana. And this is the major one that meet me here. Apart from Ochina Yakotua Baya Mekwakotu Biatre or Mampe. I deba Brimna, Yebusa me after Mangana home, then cause of American be. There is no other way.
After that, no, you don't
just the next 4 years. And some message decided said, yeah, a coin and a boami and answer and moami.
Okay. Inti first time voters are or more ever to about on the first Yambochina. How should they go about this elections? I know say before we bring free SHS about business, so maybe I'm to be on crowd where you need to say me say okay, then be an ordering say be papa Juman or Paman on near day. This year young money Pakwati as I say you be papa Juman or Paman, but they are so deep in there to Sandy Pacross or no. A crime ben soon as the power more cocotoba for the first time. What should they be expecting? How should they approach these elections?
In the first time. In first place, you should appreciate that Cecilia they also an important person. Yeah, can also so can be. If we say a nedia, also wants to say yeah to about your day to be, and don't say yeah need some. Then say and my energy no a broso. I will see who here. Say once so ne o to a banny be. Now ama pine say got to be now wako to. And don't see and she say ya a wohono, obe say ube disuye. Pobia yesia e was a nipa ediso no ye hwese wo obedisu ye na aboa ama wababa akona okoto akoye anunti yes ukọ polling station na ya hwehwe baby we free call everywhere getting that. I understand that you are now matured and that vote must count. Okay. And so you take your time. Relax it. Sure. For paper na to otu wi a what temperature we no paper won sa na fe katum said the abubu ka chona I okay simple that caution is there. Now I can sabo now they are tumsa now they are koshim we are what next table and on see the parliamentary name on say one son all they are told so one paper here who so mo na it me ko come across and what do box no we drew horse now go be ho and they are in town.
Okay, yeah.
And the entire baby will cry nipa mi unipe. Okay. Baby wa mi ensa based on which constituency you are. And also ultima no wa hwe ni ye. Now their team baby also the team wa kan to now they are koto adaka ni mu. Uwi a abrantie ababawa kofie ene you say ebo 5 assign bra opa and opa me two for say ene party nankasa wo nkrofo mo hwe wo international international observers wo private observers wo journalists yenuanom adofo omo wo ho omo de cameras ejina ho a woda ofie wo hwe ba bia enti wo beti ho na obi be kokenkan na ye uni ho tenafie na omo nkenkan also a hokra adwo ne kan kra contem no ma kenkan ye wi abebo am nyina yate na afo ahwe se maba no ne ma adwen na me pese medito aba no sa na dodo na pene so ana sa masa en ha adwen chese me wa adwen pade nanso dodo no ene menya adwen anu nti wo se yemfa nkɔ ha yemmɔ mpa yenta wo achi na yenji eno nso because eno nso de nkoso ba na yeji anu wi a bia enuru 4 years no ana we kura ko nanim no mo nse de mekan no abepim ana me de na mesusu no afi emra so yenya wo ya wie enti we nso beba enya ntokwakon me yiri say these things majority carry the vote there ya dia ya adwuma ye ko school nyina ye to abayi class prefect majority carry the vote school prefect majority we've never died. So this shouldn't kill us. It's not against anything. It's also normal. For when you know I started to obey 4 years be a basic into when you beji or rebeho, when you beji or rebeho. I am normal.
Uncle James, on the voting Moka say there's an image, there's a logo, and there's an empty box. Now I will say medisi empty box dim. Na me pese me disi papa na me pese me tun n'anim aye
won say de me pede enke doso ben se ho emra ho odisu abibia akoso toti de atene say esi papa n'anim na ehu say ampa we anim na ade ne si a eno nso nkense hwe ba de enti na akofa controversy aba say yenkan ya na ama yenkan ba bi edi ama won se fesi no ade na won fancy ho na yenkan yanim.
Okay.
This one,
empty box. Now they see
exactly.
Come on. Sure.
And I'm fan team any man you be the first box.
Papa, now me need a parliament. I mean, candidates nipa 2 one. Me pese uminu na pese account mo na because me need job ho na me
say on the ladder of likes. No two things lies on the same level.
Okay.
There are about 13 presidential candidates, I'm told.
Yes.
Me pe mi no asem me pe mi ensansem. Nenso mo de hin pa na me pe nansem pa. Obia de ne trimupo abeto yanim. Aye nyina aye bobo me gidi say and obusa kra no keka bi chiro na dade 24-hour economy it is possible
is possible.
So all these are going on. There ain't now paper to my bako because yen to mami the moment I'll be family no one man ko enkaye anka odefia nka hoto
inti na say any one of the common mistakes go for ye. Is there any other common mistakes be some even experienced people do new once a year be and you say you avoid it?
Say normally especially those who go to join the queue what the line na fair drew so open one coffee ebia open one ko adwum for my ye koton ade enti open one ko obi twa me meka na me obi na nam wato na ba wi o te ka mu twa me na me ko fo ne kananka mama me left. All these things are things that want us to make us want to hurry up. But remember, you're staying there and the hustle and bustle that took you there is all because of the vote. And make some few seconds now the battle bo ato abano and say and tito wase oko dedi kan se behwese odin wo mu na omahwese ombema behye won so ya ma okwan wakwaje o paper one anti akọ box ni mu ti ase say one a secret ballot utim upon yese ema obi a enhu bi onko obey that, respect it na fa kutim hoye fa inkino na fa tim hoye owi a paper wonsa kama o de ntumago no hwe na efi na mpepa won say ya watade kura endana wa anya gentle and say hwe
enka we ni okay
then you do it ko anim ana fa handkerchief fa paper wonsa na ko anim ko to aba no na ko fa parliamentary no so yes na ko fi entubo ase any ahwe na wo so ye one vote. It's very important and if you know the value of it you wouldn't want to spoil.
I think it's very important because your constitution is say 50% plus one. Until now one vote the one vote deep term maybe na akopa na 50-50 na pe nipa ba ko
na wo say time chrono na yes maybe I don't decide
yes,
are you getting that? How many are they? but everybody's vote counts.
Counted. In the boy. Papa, I know say be one more. But what about the we call police station one of na it be the boy but to how much any a day. And on mean sorry time being I mean go to obey.
You see, you say about to no shall say no panon so.
Yeah.
Copy any man no.
Yes, please.
A bibria or better abano and say yes, about to ask for the eagerness people want to vote to elect a particular person they want. I like that. That enthusiasm tells you how eager nation citizens are and wanting to have a president. I have nothing against people waking up early to go and be in the queue, long queue, or the Buako tour, Minamtina, Winnie Dimechi, Kofiaba, and all those things. And maybe I would just say, baby, out to Aban and Nedia, Minister by now, there will be any said, baby, over to Naba. Baby, out to Aban and said, your host, I was young and say, me, I'm not against anything. Me normally cry after 12 na metatu maba. Me two of Prempe College wa na metie. Ti me sorry me ye me normal mo fie. Ba ko cry de me wo fufu di wie. Me wie na say me ko to maba.
Wo de awon na go jira na.
Me ko na line cry bia ni ho. Me dura no an say me de me card ko ye na me to maba na me ba fie. Me hu line bia ni pe di kan to me hu. Me say na me ni ho. Me to na ba fie. Me ba fie na ma bet na me TV ho. And then I may share my moody elko nina kama. Me wa na ye bobo me constituency so dear. Me hu baby akopem and dia go see. Na say many aje. Na me to. Said dia me to ya call you sa uncle Ghana bet me bi.
Eugene. Yeah, baby your friend is saying the procedure. I was say what is the process I so go through so I go to Abana starting to work hard now. Where should you go first?
I think may record say work card na expedient process no. But only card in there. I think so because of the biometric without the card no cry you can still vote.
Yeah. I think just to clarify that one easy for our card and then there is that you say what card I maybe how to coin na card I what change you out say unia you can still vote.
You can still vote.
That's interesting.
Do honoma. I think that they will do the verification. Secure work right there. The process is very simple. Then they will verify so within will register name and the biometric to confirm. Then they'll take the normal amount to ballot sheets.
The first one was the presidential.
No. Okay. And the
parliamentary. And the afterwards. So you when you get it. Which president anyway? Yes, stamp PhD.
Yes,
you sure say stamp PhD.
Important.
Yeah, stamp PhD. Because would have been to make sure say easy na stamp
exactly.
It was stamp we are now work to the president. Then you come back for the parliamentary.
I think that will be education. Say will be food, you know.
Say Bible.
Yeah. Omukra fold him out.
Okay.
Okwa, but make sure say stamp PhD. Or folding it vertically, not horizontally. Not what and some what can't to be. Okay. And to call folded the amount would be more.
The same.
No, I can't to now they are good.
Fine.
Okay, that's interesting. And see, as young people, how can we encourage our friends to go and vote?
Your friend is a. Say we are the future leaders.
Yeah.
Tano maka so stone na mom catch on that's all. But Oshemu so Africa and as even Ghana we are a very youthful population.
Yeah.
Which means decision and your voice and CBB and your tampon no. It would be very strong power. Because Oshe even various political parties now. Apart from some women's organizer and national youth organizer, almost a youth organizer, because to say
you have a youth organizer
exactly into you to know you who did a very much see now say it's a very good population beer. Kikiri na be hu nyina ya so ne inti yenso na sabi ye wo ahoden a you betimi a influence public policies near day. The agent they are gradually failing. Fading out. In Tiena, be as a replacement in near Dinty. youth ne de no krani nyame anim no you having must say in leadership into most of the the kanejina aha you see e to aba ne kese pa aha.
See, I was watching one of the news channels. Normal can say the voting populace they are not so enthused about it per the research near they now the 18 to about 30 years age, or more years so enthused about voting because as may introduce you may kind some of them think that compared to mama they are papa near that's the idea in their mind. So Uncle James, how do we pull all these people along in making
say Eugene can say microphone am catch up say
we are the future leaders.
Oh man, that's who make I omo catch me say you are the future leaders now. Do I oho sabria omuntimi nya hwe.
Okay, it's true.
I get in that.
Okay. But they are there, but they can't do.
They can't do, and most of them too are not there when they were telling me.
Okay.
Eugene, you are really the future leaders. And name say, yeah, me fear choir, me papa be fast some bread do saying. I get it. So oshim choir, yeah. Oh no, papa, why the be fast kese pa? Oh now what that? And until papa pe choir there, then so pe papa. If you say you have all things being equal, you have more time to live than him. So every policy that comes, its effect is on you more than ever. Go for the pension scheme by and go for say the almost started no. I getting that. But over here, now mumbenya papa aten. Say you are the future leaders. Truly, Sabri, benefit and into you they'll say here. Whatever perceptions that they have must be erased, and they must see this as very important for them. Free SHS by akokraba and benefit here. But benefiting in said nankanisika anka or debetuano. And but akra nankasikenti onko school no when ya school ako. So that's educated life. Unlike if it wasn't there. And nipa national health insurance aji wonkwa say eniwa nankombewu nankomewu but mo mbe benefit dodo pa ye mo fra o munso enyini na mbe fa pa anunti policy bia e beba bia empanyimfo ho de nanso eyema mo fra ne mabunu pa anti e wo se o mo de o mo ho hyemu o kina decision no eho hia endwene ade simple say wa mama sika kakra bi dase na obedi ebesa ne mom twen kodache na hunu say den su ene beboa me na me nso so metimanya sika no bi amfa sika me dada ene ne beboa
eno za no omu diskane ba yenye engineer nko voti momo ana say engineer
you see sameti hey obi mfa sika me so me mu ma me ka say menje kra na me mo hu say the opesa oye ento aso but so ho che o say obetimi age a me masika nto wadwen sana betimi aka but so one gia me just say nipa kro na obetwen ho biem so o san dia koma adwa na akodwa afi obetwen one hwe obesuru de obedru so no hwe obeka ho a why are there so stopping am na jai de oye no if we say voting is your power and you don't have to sell it. He who want to buy your power want to destroy you. He's not a friend. And you don't have to encourage it. Menyini so bia come do said na otam for more duania obedwen ho ansan wadi the obeto power no onye odofo.
I mean it's a Bible mu iso ni nia or turn the best right nya bia ni
so and in the end how did you go
right?
And be careful. One here I say yo o me sika keke ya duane keke. But its significance is very magnitude.
And this time, as Minya Kaya, na a political parties, you more pen go for the Mark Koran, a quay dia, fire call. Papa, auntie, what should we do? I mean, yes, we basically, I mean, you're wedding, with me, he crania, de waha, with my shiki glance, nika. What should we do to either follow this or to not follow?
Mempire Bonnet say ye Christopher ye praise before ye nanka ye be hwede onyankopon ansem che ne ya hwese ebedi so na boy asem bia meka no ade bi a meyɛ no na nka sɛ me bisa sɛ so ebe yesu fɛ ana enipa a wodi na chi no botae de ntra normally class afọ no kra omo busuafo omo pen won pa won ma ne wo faasefo na dade no edu me bi omo nka ho na ye brema o na no ntokwa ekoba yi bonsi atwa obi nsa bonse obi ade tachima de owu ye wawu ko enso ebia nanka abusua bi ene da so no no ababa ko na obeto mo bi ndada o so betima to mienu unchen obia anu nti to ba ko fie na ko home na hwɛ de onyankopɔn bɛyɛ ɔman no na wanya so mfa so abusuafo kikiri emfa hwema emwa wo emfa mfa so bia ambrɛ wo manya ɔman panyin pa na ma ɔman no so mu ayɛ dɛ yɛn nyinaa tena mu bi.
Now, how is this elections? How does it impact? And I say vote here. How does it impact on our communities per se? Communities here. Well, how does this elections help us? They say me kwa parliamentarian be and I say me kwa president. No, does it really have any positive impact into our communities?
It does a lot. Community development is very, very important. Social interventions that comes with these leaders, from these leaders, are very, very important, and we can't underrate them. And therefore, we must be vigilant in doing it. Yenim pefe say, MP nye mpuntu juma de, and then say yenim so more common fund.
Yeah,
I get in that.
Common fund.
I now on assembly say opposition for ne hunu enoma ye hia. Na yeah okodura ba mu a na onhu biem. What you say? Ye wo mpuntu juma bebre a ye hwehwe wo ye mpotamu. Ba bia wo ba ko school e hot say. Unsuo sem te say. Kanea sem te say. Akwan sem te say. Afi oman no mu potamu odien na ohia ebe ma wabrabo akoso ama o yare a ampomuden hun sem te say. What you say? Na no ya ye be hospital yi. I sat there and I was so I think say every district in Yasa hospital for ya yesi bia. Abusiafo na chip compounds yi adwuma na obi yare na okọ na ehia na sesi a waduru hospital kese a sa hoto aba enti na obi mfiri swame emedu konfanoche no na eche se ayade a emu odin pa anyesa o meduru konfanoche ewa obenya ayaresa. These are policies that brings mpuntu wo ye potemu anu nti ehun hia papa abato yi de se wa ohun so mfaso a ohun ba bia wo ko mfuturo bebo wa efi o panyin kura wo ho ene se de mpotemu hia no obi e pere de do ye ntimi nya ni nyina mom de nanso so hwede obetima ye bebre na ma nya hotopa. Thank you.
We na then I'll become home of that.
I think some Papa James here na looking from hospitals come up because some years ago we na community be complaining about say omo kwan crying go ye na mfuturo no someone was suffering from asthmatic. These are certain basic things I would say it's a leadership problem, and there's a saying as the last time is our boss will say leadership is a cause and every other thing is effect. Into once ye toma leaders or more drain or mine in the community no one or mobwa ema abrabo no mu ha kakra. Say a hospital mo you don't have to travel miles from a small town to a city center and sana when ya maybe basic health care. And sana maybe even ambulance systems are like this. I think a Uber traveler do be in a emergency night me a boy emma ya brabo no mu hin kakra. Inti leadership and I say politics election that the act of selecting our leaders no is very, very important. One year who facing a no.
I think I was talking to one colleague. I think the last elections, prior to that one, was a COVID by near day, and then he swore that from that time wasn't never going to vote again because they voted in home for so. I mean, the person he voted for, who he believed in, now it feels like it's a failure. It's like the person has biting their back or stabbing their back into whom elections whom for so a crowd beam. Into now me say so for some people, not just the first time voted, but somebody who has voted before, and if you're voting about A or B, I will lose faith in that person now. Or see this time he's abstaining totally from the elections. What can we advise? What advice can we give to such a person?
So if you do not vote because of that person, would a good thing come? This is time to show that I had faith in you.
Okay.
You failed me. So go.
Okay.
Because your one plus or against is important. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
This is our power. I trusted you and I gave it to you. Now you have failed me. This is what aduane.
Yeah.
Aduane we said the music jina ho de me ni bi da de ba ma minto be be kama.
Yeah.
Me ko fie na nyede. Me nka se me ni di biem.
Okay.
Echina. Ho na me nkoto biem.
Yeah.
Be me nkoto be obe fufuro. Adenti na me ni di biem. Nti oti ekom nkume. Da bi me mfa me power fan to because say what feeling me nti. You have failed me. You aren't the person I want again. So I'll now find a different person. Maybe I'll have faith in. Dear, when you are so obinsu any ajo.
Yeah.
And now I can say a majority carry the vote situation.
Yeah.
It may not always go in the line that you have.
Want
Fine. Let the person go. Then another person come. Maybe it will be my turn. I get it that. So keep on voting. Don't say because this person failed me, so I won't do that again. It won't help. Because ukotoduane na say nyode usika wo cash o brands ahonya o toduane no enye de e bia ontimi nya foforo ni wudi ni saa ade a kye utwemo a na okọ no obi bo modern busa o say ko aduane mpese me kotobi oh media na na me toye no mani anye ho so obeto de a na wakọ de and that is how life goes. So a man mbu abam enka say no nti onto ababiem wo yes adia na wa bu otumi no abomfia na wa mwa wo I say what can one kasa otumi I say unhu power na ekuta no. Apart from this, how else would we contribute to this nation development? Baby awo adwuma kakra bi eno ne contribution no. But this is where you contribute to the decision making in the nation
that impacts everybody.
That's it. So important.
Now that time, I know say elections started in 92. I wasn't born then, but I believe there was no social media then. And then 98, and then 2000, still it was internet, but now social media started in then 2004, 8, the social media started coming in. Now in our time now, social media is rampant. It's more than even traditional media. Traditional media are even rely on social media now for their reportage in the day. How can we use social media to advantage in this time, in the time of misinformation and disinformation and all that? How can we use it to advantage and not use it to spark emotions and flare up emotions nowadays?
You see, social media has enhanced the global world thing. I'm here, but I know everything that goes on anyway.
Okay.
And so, for example, let me use the case you talked about.
Sure.
I needed a road in my area, and I thought that if I both vote for Mr. X, I will get it.
Yeah.
And in the end, I'm not getting the road, so I'm disappointed. I'm not going to vote for it. But with social media, I'm able to see that though I did not get a road in my area, I'm seeing that roads are being built. And drew me so. And teacher say obi enya akwai me hu de cost bebre and ne obi campaign na oye wo constituency bi no asa omo nkwa na okasa ache omo so metibi mpacho ati ase. The information spread is very far and helps you to know much about this person, that person, so that it can be a guide to your decision making. And that is very good.
Sure.
It helps us to make good good decisions because you are having good data to guide you through the decision our person or make it. I think so. And some bano now would say be a free bar. Now would say be free bar. Social media there. Say the bayage more say the emotions to change kakra. If we say sometimes, we say the Uncle Fosi can some now. What's here for an answer person or act here?
Even can say with the correct source.
Correct source number three. What you say? Me am fa motions in can one way respond be out better one no one so ye
Internet is the tone, so I influence.
And we shouldn't carry emotions along with in social media. That is what I have learned from that. Whenever you listen, you take your time. It may be coming from a disappointing source because you were not thinking, say, we party and committee we have then so what? Are you getting that? You just have to take your time. Sometimes to almost say church na apology ba. After church no na enti ni nyina so better social media wa. And we need to take our time. But we should use the positivity of it by trying to get the information that we need to get. Ni hu no ma echo nano ye commissioning is that he send microphone we the partner nacho we the ye ni say we the say nyina ko partner nacho fi say nyina and maybe I buy Mahama so free so I to send microphone to say ya anybody I was see a copanacho I was see a copanacho. Meanwhile it was through the same social media they backed him, they hacked him. Now they are now apologizing through the same thing. And when it's what see now bibia I feel part also bad. And we need to calm down. But social media is a good source of information. And the issue baby ubeti me ba na me share and nay and send some CCC meeting biase and then crying kumasi the keka home. I was just looking at them. I wouldn't have to be there. But before then I want to know.
I mean and then the first time in Yenya International plane in Lando Kumasi Airport, and I had to text a friend and ask her, say, video of it, and then she sent it to me. If it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't that.
I get it. That. And every we be so Kumasi on Namha now.
I know that some people have not actually heard of it.
That's it.
I saw that post this morning, but now me can say, some days be never back. And I'm a teen radio says, more can I make post now about post here. So I went to watch them and realized that Ebe landed around 10:30. So my family actually tracked the plane from that time now a Ragana airspace from Boga, Trakia, BC, and I'm contacting my friend now to me sending me videos, maybe I'm and share and say, wow, this is
these are information that guides our decision making and comments that we make. And so social media has come to help us. But be careful of what you put on. Because it's guiding somebody in his decision making.
That's interesting. Now, also, I mean, you are young. Uncle James, we see how grey he is.
70 flowers, actually.
You see how grey Uncle James is. But, I mean, he's still using social media. How are we supposed to use this to advantage? I know there's so many disinformation. So Uncle James can emotions you should put aside. But the truth is that the emotions so how should we do it?
Okay, one thing I'm realizing on social media and say one of the things is that people are eager to be the first person to publish a news.
So person will be in a trend. We are correct.
Exactly. I know one problem. Okay. And eager to reply. Yeah, also I say me teach me physics JBP also trust but verify.
Okay.
Inti I didn't ever told no man no. Be say a disaster be say especially bad news but say you been a trend but what one thing so they say a wrong news tracking a crime baby only a baby also first
so now spread it
first but a baby I'm gonna make try but and I answer maybe and ye be share be consumers I was say you to a boss before maybe a better share or even make a comment on it and because nobody born them there it make me walk man kasa baby be careful men pro and yeah they and maybe I check a verification or so because
how do we check it? Because I mean if I'm verifying for Matthias example Uncle James Honum now be I mean trust Uncle James then who can be also don't know Uncle James know, but I mean, share and trust. How do I verify these things?
But you said something now when you heard about the plane. You had to text somebody. Do you have video of it? Where you think the source can get a good video of what you are seeing, and you had it. Sometimes you won't mean verify. Said you will verify it, but be patient. Now we'll share. Time will even show how things are. And I will be on him so bit my babeka say, I am here. It is not like that. I think I was one morning be on one of these morning shows. A certain politician was bragging. No maybe I walk a cow baby. One you cry no be face him say a hono jine. Okay,
yeah.
Oh, a hono jine. And see social media na ban no kwan wo. So one man verify wabotre ho hia. The obey ho no nim no e de beka ho. And now be beto munchine. Now who say ade say the sekoi e betima ye no kre. And na say there be say the way to kan enye no kre. Answer. And ye to ya bo ase a ye timinti na make us emotions be mo a hard dream papa.
Even on that bit, just add something. You know. When I asked my friend, no nya and mommy, so I started going to social media to find say hono. They said just a name, but by the time I got it, and I called back to social media, I was like, I've now gotten it from different angles, so it verifies that truly it did happen any other day. That's one interesting thing about social media. It helps us to apart with all these things happening. I know the last elections now. I'm old now, so I remember. So now I can say I cannot refer to those elections. That election, we realized that there were so many misinformations and stuff that were coming up. What should we be expecting to happen on elections day? And not just the voting yard and now when we've gone through how to vote, but what should we expect? Is the day going to be different? How is the aura around the day and how does it look like?
You see, I see the day as a match day where two teams are on the field. Everybody has a match plan.
Okay.
Sometimes you see that this is the formation of this team 4-3-3, 4-4-2. But on the field, you see that changes comes in numbers and positions.
Okay.
How they have planned to do their things.
Yeah.
I get in that. When the ball is in their hands, that's how they play it. When the ball is out of their hands, that's how they play it. It varies and changes all the time. And on tomorrow, every political party has its own tactics. We've been in Ghanaian politics for some time. We've had elections for some time. Mombeka no krebeka ebeka yewene enso no we yewe enso no we ni nyina beba so nanso nyamo say these are in expectation eno na me no be di nkomo na me say oh abato da ne ma ene accusations be sha ase
yeah
na we akoye say na we akoye say
who be
na say a hotel be na nipa bi ye den no bi busa say ademu wura mu ana o se da bi suspect say oh but suspect say no say the esi kan asem no me susu say me dwen say eye me say na nso aye factor man na ejina so de kan asem enti china enoma bebre be sha ase anopa ye be say enu ti no bi pese ofa ballot box cra or the coin na dwen the point saying and so all these will happen. And that's why you need to be in your home, relax and be vote and go to home.
What you EP04?
Yes, EP04. My team cry on.
And then team is a boy we are. Team boy we are. We are voting, you know.
It's better baby I said about question match, you know.
Okay.
The match we are that Masatia follow me in the election. And this is so what. I was for your fan personal. I say mpanyfo ka say umma umho ye dimpi ya koja.
Yeah.
Ube fa dia tare wani asia ye beto abawi ye bebo no o mampanyi no onye o mampanyi ni bi. No atu anananom na ye atena asia anya mampanyi no. Nti o se nya abotre wo ye koso bia emfa bi echa no ma bebre besi. Atro ne doso. Na no kwasem ne say ebo 5 an ye bekan.
Okay.
Ye kan wie ni ebobobo a nkwa untimi ntina wo dem hu de ekonyina acha Monday I can assure you na results no aba ekoko to ekodenyo results na aba court bebua ebebua ebeti ni nyina o role ni say
role na ni abana is out no
enti koto
role na ni abana is out no enti na say the declaration of the results might not come that same day.
Normally from what we've seen for whole, I don't know how the plans of ECs, how strong and fast they can get the results now. But at least with media men now, within 48 hours, 24 hours, they are able to get us an idea of where things are going. But it's still not the valid one.
Unless EC announces.
Party crab announces say, "Me winning by this percentage." It's still not the valid one.
Okay.
EC will announce, or we are a fee, or be a near to us. So, we say, any just the account no cranny bebe a chain. And you may able now more sabia also we are a chair no.
So that means that when you finish voting, I think I heard on the news again say EC say the return officer for the presidential is the EC. He returns the officer for that one. They say a chain my EC be declare that particular one. We shouldn't really rely solely on the media and what our radio stations, TV stations would declare or predict. Into the time you're more in community predicted proposed provisional results because it's not certified by the EC. So when
they get from EC, they say certified
results. Until we have to wait for the certified result from the EC. But then the parliamentary ones, it is really the constituency one can declare that this person is now your new parliamentary.
The EC rep or declare. And the bantam. And Zebia at the end, we are no better say 24 and 12 hours. No one who say me MP.
Okay.
I get in that. I someone who say MPs do not say we not free haba, we are free haba. Social media. No, now couldn't him. One so can be said, and Eugene everybody want to prove that me na me the bar first, especially our media people.
Our media people.
They make kind and one buy. So that is also making them work for us. I get that. So they will do all these things, but no, the returning officer for presidential is the EC chairman.
For it will be coming on the at least another check Monday dear who be into year 12 on watch na Sunday sorry na Monday train the results na
Sunday na
and then that would be very fast too. That would be very fast. I think the last elections was 48 hours now. 48 hours.
Last year, I cried the minimum the material in a credit. Now I think about my bantam. Nana, no way, Yanti and once me and Tim once be everybody be more anti manager. We said, buy.
Okay. And Eugene, what are your last words for this election? Wrap it up on us time.
This election, day. Said the now between the hours of 7 to 5 near bed 2. Ayana between those hours challenges near machine no verification challenge. We be person if we ballot box. We be so person with the BB rem. Your bomb pie and I say your advice say yen eschew from all those kind of illegalities. No.
Sure.
And the critical moment is the counting.
Okay.
From the polling station to the collation centers. From there, say, Empire Bonnie say, be very smooth.
Okay.
Na security, any other staff, ballot staff, and verifications, near the maintain who I say recounting near dinner. Especially Christopher, we are for peace. I think it's a true religion, preach peace. Until you said there's peace in all polling stations, and maintain wants to be brain, so you enter a was and because the SAI and the election, the polling station one and winning. Exactly, but coalition also no cluster coalitions in the annual manus with the agony for any so be hard young bumpire for peace. Na a kabum in Tiasi and some miniature.
Uncle James.
Me da sepa de mes mekane say as voters are mutie or mo hwe de ye ka ene de ekọ ye be stress say ye mo e ho ban say be yi e ho free enoma ense ewo abato no ebre no mo abato na e board mo my abstaining from bribery je na kotima we mo ma enyim free ne yankofa ye ntim po enkoto aba no multiple voting yenyim free akwan mo obi ato ababako jitum sa ebro so awonim nyansa nje obi a enu akonya e di assembly ye chewa asunsun me ho yanka nanso akachi avoid impersonation me nua we ni ho ne kada ho me koto ama no me pa cho ene security feature biometric information aye wo no ukoya ye becho mo ye change scra want me to ma wo and avoid it and also ebeboa vote only once and koto ha enkasa me komi krom so akode MP ho mpacho emwa upto abawia ma district dey say free ho san komodi die ne edi wo ho ne yatinje no ɛno na ɛpagya akoma ma abufuo ba na de nsɛnsɛm pii ba wonni hɔ a ɛnsi woto abawie a kɔfie na akyiri sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔba a waba sɛ wobɛtie me nso a na nka womma koraa na mmerɛ bia ɛwɔ voting center hɔ de so obi di kikiri ba ɛna bɛdi w'anim ma ne nkɔto ɔmfa ne musuo nkɔ asomdwie ɛna yɛhwehwɛ onyame nka yɛn ho na sɛ de na yɛgye nka no asomdwie a yɛbɔ ho mpaeɛ no ɛmmra ma yɛ nyinaa
amen okay I think this may cardiac for the say even your kind 7 national say 5 napo now so queue nimu before 5 they be pon nkwa dia easy be ma ho kwan amawato aba no enti pacho kwa make sure say odo card na ko want me amfa card na nkwa na wa okwa I mean odo tambe si BVB no so then na etimi aboama wetimi ato aba no the biometric device will help you verify you. But what card never boa, I'm not faster. But if you don't have your card, you can still go there and vote. With your presidential sheet now, making sure say 13 on the sheet, making sure say your stamp PhD and your full the amount so, and then you take it to your ballot and then you vote. Who vote here? Make sure you wipe your thumb before you start folding. It's all about ball paper no. Make sure so wipe your thumb no. Waiting to my the amount and I say with one kasa watade making sure so what clear why you say jumano nti why and where we know then you go and put it in the presidential ballot box no you go and then receive your parliamentary sheet and also making sure say it is stamped and then the number of people standing by at your constituency it be a 2 it be a 3 in Bantam constituency I say 2 people in your constituency it be a 3 by 4 depending on people who are standing. Make sure that these people are on the sheet. You stamp PH with the EC logo and then you go and vote. We are now there are 2 say the Uncle James Owusu Achiaw e be ya free honum na kofi ko pbd e ball honum movies or koko shebi with me monitor even on the TV even on radio with me listen to do all those things. Do all this to avoid conflict and I mean commercial near day and then you pray for peace. Quarter, and you remember 5, you can return if you want to you will be out to abano or to a course saying once that is declared you have to go back and then watch your news and everything. The collation of the parliamentary might be declared that day now or the next day, but the returning officer for the presidential dear is the EC. Please do not follow a political party which you are aligned to and answer to the TV stations per se. I mean that one they give you the information, but the returning officer to say who has won the elections and answer who has lost is the EC's purview or not pay any other power to do that. So please do not rely on all these things. On our social media you hear so many things. Please verify all these informations. Once you verify, just relax. Time is of it's a pregnancy then it will come out. The truth is like pregnancy then it will come out with time. So just relax. Don't force yourself to know everything and push. Don't be the first to let everybody know what is happening. Verify before you even post. And if you see any post, to make sure that it is the right post that you are putting out there for people to read. In all this thing, what we are saying is that as Christians, as believers, we need to pray for this election, that everything will come out smoothly, and then all of us will enjoy our Sunday, and after Monday, we can go back and enjoy our fufu and everything. We don't want to run away. We don't want to carry our bags near our day. We don't want to be fighting anybody. I think our downfall, I be your enemy. And your friends, you lose your friends forever. So please, we are youth, we are young and everything. We are, even if you are old, you don't need to fight with anybody. It is just deciding. You are just making decision based on your term, who you want. And whoever you think can help you, just vote for such a person. If that person disappointed you and you want to vote the person out, fair enough. If that person helps you, want to vote for that person to stay, fair enough. Just go and vote and don't fight with anybody. The other masipan se mo joining and then so Namisha say Makaya home. I mean earlier on we spoke about child baptism and then we realized that it is important that children who are born into the faith should be baptized. And as parents and as family, once the person is baptized, we need to bring that person up in the faith by teaching the person also. And then we've looked at our elections smoothly and how we have to go through it. So tomorrow, please go out there and vote.
Once you've registered, please go out there and vote, cast your vote. Yamisha Mosamokai home, and we'll see you one more time going next week. So arise, Ghana youth. So thank you so much. Arise, Ghana youth. The nation demands your devotion. Be involved in these elections. Go out there and cast your vote. Vote for the preferred person you want. Make Ghana a great nation. You are building a motherland. Be involved. If you believe in the MP, vote for that person to stay. Or come on, found on the Bebo parliamentary and also constituency. No, we are building a motherland. So get involved. Don't sit home. Don't say so when you to abana free home. When you to no to an ejumas. Na yini na yembwana krona yembe de crew. And we shall also join in on TikTok, on Facebook, and then on Paya Radio, Paya Online Radio. I mean, Shamo, I'll see you next week. Next week. We've got some interesting people here. You will enjoy it. So please, don't go and fight. I'm not crooning more. Because I want to see you next week here on live. Because I want to... The conversation we're having is very interesting. So please, go and vote calmly. And no be angoko. So we can see you next week. I mean, shall also join in. Guy round table. A table of four. A feast. A table of faith, rather, right? A table of faith. A feast of hope. I mean, Shrama. Thank you.
To see you again next glad you join us on Gallery Roundtable. We hope to see you again next week for another inspiring conversations. Share your thoughts, your faith, and stay connected with us. Remember, faith is a journey, not a destination. Asunji Inkamu.